Hi everyone, it's Lisa Mears. Thank you for joining me today. In today's video, I'm going to make two cards using the Spellbinders December 2021 small die of the month and the clear stamp of the month. So here's what the small die of the month looks like. You get this frame. It's a very delicate, you can see how delicate that frame is. It has some beautiful details on there. I did die cut it here out of some of the Spellbinders gold mirror cardstock. I'm just going to put it here on a front of an A2 size card panel just so that you can see how large it is in relation to the A2 size card panel. So it does fit on the front of that panel perfectly. And if any of you are new to card making, an A2 size card panel measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you also get these flower dies, and then there's also some leaf dies. So all of the dies that you see here are included in the Spellbinders December 2021 Small Die of the Month Club. Okay, so here's a look at the clear stamp of the month. This stamp set has the letters that can spell love you. There's also some other sentiments in there. And you can also spell out hello from those letters. And there's also some other flower stamps with some solids. So you don't have to color them. You can actually take those solids and you can stamp those onto the flowers. Now, if you belong to the clear stamp and the die of the month, you get the matching dies that will actually cut out those letters. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my first card. I'm taking some white cardstock and I'm just adding some double-sided adhesive tape to the back of that cardstock because I want this to be a sticker. And then I'm going to run it through my die cut machine with the frame die. So once that comes out of the die cut machine, I'm just going to remove the die, and now I have two frames that I'm going to be working with. I have this white one as well as this gold one that I previously cut out. So I'm going to put glue on the back of the gold. That is going to go on that blue pattern paper. That blue pattern paper is from the Spellbinders card kit for the month of December, so that's where I took that from. And now with the white die cut, I'm just piecing in the pieces that go inside the frame. So I have the gold as the actual frame structure, and then the inside pieces I'm just piecing in the white. And that blue pattern paper, it measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So here's what that looks like once all of those pieces are popped in there. You can see how pretty and delicate that looks. Now I have a piece of pink cardstock with double-sided adhesive on the back, and I'm going to take these flower dies and die cut them. So I'm actually taking the shadow die and I'm placing it around the inside piece to die cut it to cut out this flower. And then I took the shadow die and die cut another layer of the darker pink cardstock. And what I'm doing is I am just going to be using the outline from the lighter pink cardstock, and then I'm placing it on the darker pink cardstock. If you wanted to die cut the inside with some different colors, you can do that and piece them back in. That's also optional. But I think it looks really pretty with that lighter outline and then the darker background. I'm doing the same thing here with this other flower die that I'm putting together in yellow. So I have darker in the back, the darker yellow in the back, and then the outline in the lighter yellow, and then just piecing those together. And then here's another die that I die cut again out of the dark pink and the light pink. And I'm going to go ahead and add the dark pink outline to the lighter pink shadow. So all of those flowers that I just die cut and put together, I'm going to die cut them again and put them together again off camera. So I'm going to have two sets. So I'll be able to create this frame and have a set of flowers in the bottom right as well as in the top left. I also die cut out of some light green cardstock some of the leaf dies, and I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. So what I've done is I've just arranged those flowers where I want them on my frame, and now I'm just taking my glue and I am gluing those pieces down. And I'm making sure that I glue down the pieces that are underneath the large flower first, and then I'm going to glue down the large flower after all the other ones are tucked in. And I'll do that for both. And after I've glued down all of those flowers, I'm going to go ahead and add the sentiment. Now this sentiment that I'm using, the happy birthday die, is from the Spellbinders September 2021 small die of the month. So if you happen to have this die, if you're part of the club, that's where it came from. I just die cut it out of some white cardstock and added it to the middle of the frame, and then I'm just adding that entire layer to an A2 size white card base. And then to finish this off, I'm just adding some of the Spellbinders gold gems to the front of this card, and then that will complete my card. So for my next card, I'm going to be using the Spellbinders Clear Stamp of the Month, and I'm just taking several of these flower stamps and I'm making my own pattern paper on this white cardstock. My white cardstock measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and notice that I have a piece of scrap paper underneath that card layer because some of those stamps will be stamped off of the actual card layer. So I want to make sure that the ink doesn't get on the Misti that's underneath it, and it actually gets on that scrap paper. So when you make your own pattern paper, at least when I do, I like to make sure that my stamps do go off of the card layer. I just think it looks so much better when some portion of the stamp is going off of that card front. Okay, so once all of them are stamped on there, I'm going to come in with my fill stamps, and I'm just using some pink ink. This is the scrapbook.com pink lemonade ink, and I'm filling those in. Now, I want you to notice that your fill stamp, it's not going to be perfect. These stamps are not meant to stamp completely the inside outline of the flower. So they are meant to go a little bit off the lines or not actually fill in the entire flower. So after I stamp all of those flowers, I will stamp out the words love you with the other stamps in this set, and then I'm going to use the corresponding dies to die cut those letters out. And what's fun about these stamps is they have some flowers hooked to those letters, which is really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and color in those flowers using the same color ink that I was just using for my background. So what I did is I took the actual ink pad, placed it on that acrylic block, and then I added a little bit of water, and I'm just watercoloring these flowers. So I'm just picking up with my water brush some of the ink and then adding a little bit of water and ink to the actual flowers, and I wanted them a little bit more vivid, so I'm coming in with my R43 Copic marker just to put a little bit more pink on those flowers. So I have a piece of white cardstock here that measures 3.5 by 2.5 inches. I'm going to layer that on the pink cardstock that is 3 5/8 by 2 5/8, and then I'm going to glue on the love you right on top of this layer. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera. And then I'm going to add that pink flower paper, and I'm going to add that to a pink card base. So that card base is A2 in size. So just add that on directly to the pink card base. And then the love you piece, I did put some double-sided adhesive foam so it pops up just a little bit on that card front, and then I added some silver gems from my stash. Here's another card that I created using the Spellbinders December card kit. So all of that ephemera and pattern paper is from the card kit, and I used the sentiment love you right on top of that mini slimline card. So if you're interested in finding out more information about Spellbinders clubs, I will have a link down in the description box of this YouTube video, so be sure to check out that link. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more card making tutorials. Thanks for watching and have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.